Hello, boils and ghouls. Welcome to Watchers Podcast with your hosts, Brad and Colson.
We all go a little mad sometimes.
Hi, I'm Chucky. Wanna play?
Why are you doing this to us?
It gives you a home.
I met him 15 years ago. I was told there was nothing left. No reason, no conscience, no understanding, and even the most rudimentary sense of life or death, of good or evil, right or wrong.
What's your favorite scary movie?
Hey everybody, welcome to the show. My name is Brad, here with Colson Oliver.
Hello.
And before we get started, if you guys can hear any noise in the background, it's a fan. We're in the middle of a heat wave, and if you want to listen to our beautiful voices, you got to put up with the fan. It is warm.
Oh, brutal.
Yeah, it's been a disgusting few days.
Yeah.
Besides that, how are you?
Doing good.
Good.
And you?
Good.
Yeah.
A little dehydrated, probably, but besides that, I'm doing fine.
Yeah, you work in a kitchen or restaurant business, so you're around heat and
right in front of the fryers all weekend. It was rough.
Brutal.
Yeah.
Do you have air conditioning? Do they have AC in there for you guys?
Well,
or would that affect food?
There's two kitchens.
Okay.
The one that I mainly work in doesn't have air conditioning.
Oh.
They just put a heat pump in the other kitchen right beside it, but it's a lot smaller. It's kind of like the size of a shipping container, that kitchen. So they can put a heat pump right at one end and blow the air conditioning down.
Yeah.
And it covers enough room to like keep the people working cool.
Right. Yeah.
But as soon as you hit the pizza oven at the other end, it's just hot.
Uh-huh.
There's no escaping it, really.
I see.
Yeah.
It's a rough time.
Yeah.
For sure.
Disgusting.
Yeah.
You watch anything this week?
I did. I watched a movie called Witchboard.
Okay.
It's about it's about a Ouija board. As they make sure to point out that it is called a Ouija. It's one of the Scream Factory releases. I bought it and I was like, hey, give this a shot. So I did. It's okay. It's, that 80s witchery possession film. Not bad, not great.
Yeah. Kind
of in the middle, average stuff. Cool. Some cool special effects and stuff like that. But, it was good enough.
Yeah.
I'd never heard of it either. I kind of check Amazon a lot for Scream Factory stuff, and I have my wish list, and I just put them all in, any that I'm intrigued by.
Yeah.
Because a lot of them are pricey.
Yeah.
We can order from Scream Factory. We're in Canada. Prices that they show are American prices, and so you think, oh, this is not bad. It's only $20, and then you get your bill, and it's like $29 or whatever.
Oh, and don't forget shipping.
And shipping, yes. So I kind of check Amazon a lot.
Yeah, and that's what I go to too for those.
Yeah, this was one of those $20 ones, and I was like, oh, why not?
Yeah.
Bought it. And
it's worth it. Like, even just for the special features and like the cool cover art that they have.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Like, if you like collecting movies, like someone on the outside be like, paying $20 for a movie from 1985?
Yeah.
You're crazy?
Yeah,
but
exactly.
In reality, like, if you're a collector, it's really cool.
Yeah.
Especially if you're a fan of horror.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
They do such a good job.
Yeah. So, yeah, I watched that. I also watched Titanic again.
Never heard of it.
I don't even know how many times. I couldn't tell you how many times I've seen the movie. Came out in 97, so that's 25 years ago. I've probably seen it, without exaggeration, I would say 30 to 50 times.
Wow.
Because it was probably a twice-a-year watch for me in certain years, so...
It's like 3 hours long.
Yeah, 3 hours.
150 hours of Titanic.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Yeah, that's what I watched. That's what I talked about. Anyway. What about yourself?
I haven't watched too much other than what we're going to talk about, but I did watch a movie on Netflix called The Girl in the Picture.
Oh, yeah, I have that on my list. I haven't watched it yet, though.
It's a documentary, or like a true crime kind of thing, that just every, 15 minutes they introduce a new twist, like all Netflix ones.
Right.
And you're just like, what in the hell is going on?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Enjoyable, though? Good?
Yeah, it's gross.
Okay.
There's a few things where you're like, disgusting.
Right.
Gross. But overall, it's interesting.
Okay.
Yeah, you feel kind of dirty watching it, but
hey,
it's good.
I can't complain about that. I enjoy that. Okay, cool.
Yeah. That was all I watched.
Right on.
I do have a story, though.
Okay.
Happened this morning.
Oh, boy.
Creepier than anything we're going to talk about today.
Okay.
I was getting ready to go out the door, getting the kids to daycare, slipped on my sneakers. It's the summer, I'm not wearing socks. Walked out to the van. All of a sudden, I feel a tickle around my toes.
Oh, no.
I'm like, what is that? Take my shoe off, give it a couple of thumps, and great big earwig drops into my shoe. And it took a lot of shaking to get that guy out. He was hanging on.
Fuckers.
I could have lost a toe.
Yeah. Oh,
gross.
Earwigs have been bad this year for us.
Us
here.
too.
Yeah.
I don't know if this is like a thing that happens around the world,
Not
or is
sure.
it just like a PEI thing? Any other places yeah.
I didn't even see. I'm originally from out west.
Yeah.
I didn't even see an earwig until I came out to Nova Scotia on vacation once.
Really?
It was the first time I saw them.
Probably blew your mind.
Yeah, they're creepy as
They
shit.
are.
They're awful.
They got fangs on their ass.
Yeah. Just about a week or two ago, I did some outside cleaning because we were getting earwigs and ants too. So I bought ant spray and I sprayed along the house. And then I was like, you know what? Earwigs, if you know, they hide under garbage pails and
anywhere
if you have a tarp, for example, and you leave it outside the next day, there'll be literally thousands in there.
Yeah.
So I had my barbecue next to my house, and it had a cover on it, and I moved it, and they just started pouring out, and I was stomping. I killed thousands of them, just stomping the shit out of them.
So gross.
Brutal. But, yeah, I was hoping that would cut down on them getting in.
Yeah.
But, no luck yet.
The first time I ever seen them, I was probably 8.
Yeah.
And I was at a ball field, and I had a stick, and I was pretending that I was Donatello.
Right.
And I hit one of the posts of the one of the older ball fields. So there's 3 or 4 in one area.
Right.
And it broke a little chunk off one of the posts that were wood, and they just started pouring out of it. I was like, what in the hell is this?
Terrifying.
Yeah.
They should make a movie about earwigs. They have all these other...
Yeah.
They have spiders, they have ants, they have, slugs.
Yeah.
All sorts. They should do earwigs.
Yeah, because people are genuinely disgusted by them.
That'd be good.
Yeah.
Let's write that. We'll pitch it in Hollywood.
It's a great idea.
Okay. Creepy story, though.
Yeah. So, as of the time we're recording this, too, Rob Zombie dropped a trailer for The Munsters.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what to think of that. It's kind of rough looking. It's going right to Netflix.
Yeah, I heard that Netflix has picked it up.
Originally, the teaser he put out, I was like, hey, this looks kind of cool.
Yeah.
But the whole movie just kind of looks rough.
Yeah.
I'll reserve judgment until...
When is it out? Do you know?
It comes out around Halloween.
Okay.
Because there's going to be an Addams Family movie called Wednesday.
Right.
Out around the same time.
Okay.
But then a better trailer came out.
Mm-hmm.
Halloween Ends?
Yeah. Halloween Ends.
What did you think of that one?
I liked it. You got me excited.
Me too.
I watched it. I've said it a million times. I don't watch horror trailers. This was a teaser. Even this one, I blinked for extended periods of time just so I missed that extra bit. Looks good though.
It does.
It shows promise to me.
Yeah.
I think so.
I'm excited for the showdown.
Yeah. Should be good.
Yeah.
And you never know. Watching the trailer, does that for all we know, that could happen in the first 5 minutes of the movie. It could happen in the middle. It could happen in the end. We have no idea.
Yeah.
You just don't know.
It's true.
And they did a good job. They do show you people possibly being attacked. There's a kid in like a sewer or something that gets grabbed in the face. Who knows if that's Michael, if it's a friend of his playing a trick on him. So that's why I like teasers.
Yeah.
A lot more. When the 2.5 minute trailer comes out, I won't bother.
No.
I won't bother watching it.
No, I've seen all I need to see.
Yeah. I'm excited enough. I don't want to spoil any possible kills.
Funny, the movie will be out by the time this comes out.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
If not in a week or two from right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you had mentioned before about the Silver Shamrock
I did that
robot.
I did that in private to you.
Okay.
Just so you know.
Okay.
We didn't talk about it on here.
All right.
So you can mention it now.
Yeah. So you had said you read this online.
Yeah, somebody there, and I've seen it again from
Me
other
too.
people. So
yeah, it's been popping up a lot now.
Yeah.
That their theory is Michael Myers is a robot made
Right.
by the Silver Shamrock Company.
Right.
And that's why he can't die.
That's right.
The 3 posters
I know. I was just going to mention that to you.
have the colors of the 3 Silver Shamrock
Yeah.
masks and kind of have the look to them too.
Yeah. The first one, the white old Michael Myers mask, matches the skeleton. The second one with him burning matches the pumpkin. The third one, he's very decayed greenish color, matches the witch.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
It can't be a coincidence.
It's something's going on here.
Yeah.
It's exciting.
If Silver Shamrock plays a bigger part in this movie, I'll be so excited.
Yeah.
Especially if they play the music.
Yeah.
I'd be so happy.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One last bit of news before we get into it. It's also San Diego Comic-Con going on right now. They announced the last season of The Walking Dead. I forgot Walking Dead was a show.
Yeah.
It's been on that long. 11 seasons.
Yeah, long time.
I watched the trailer. I don't think I care.
No. I saw the news. I didn't watch the trailer, but I saw it. I didn't even bother. Because I never watched the show.
Right.
But, yeah.
And the first few seasons are good, but like... And I almost started watching again because I heard Thora Birch was on it.
Right.
And I was like, oh, like from Hocus Pocus, that'd be kind of cool. And then I tried getting caught up, and I watched one episode, and I was like, I can't do it. It's like, I'm just done.
Yeah.
And they announced another spin-off, a couple of them.
Yeah.
It's like...
Yeah, one's a mini-series or something? Is that what
there's one with like Rick and Michonne or something.
Yeah.
And then there's like an anthology series coming out. Just let it go.
Yeah.
Like, maybe people are still watching, but...
Yeah.
I'm
I don't
very
know.
down
I don't
on
know
it.
anybody talk about it. I don't
No.
know ever. So.
And it's crazy. I used to love it.
Mm-hmm.
I was obsessed with that show, and now even the thought of watching it just... It's like eating a whole chocolate cake, I guess.
Right.
Like, you're halfway through, and you're like, fuck, I don't want chocolate cake anymore.
Exactly.
I don't want any more Walking Dead.
Yeah.
I'm good.
All right.
Yeah. All right. So now we're on to our review for this week.
Yep.
The Black Phone. Based on a short story by Joe Hill.
Mm-hmm.
Came out technically in 2021.
Yeah.
But because of COVID restrictions and all that fun stuff,
Yeah.
it got pushed back to 2022.
Yeah, this is another when we did top 10s back in the day.
Yeah.
One of yours was Cabin in the Woods, and I had that on the year different than you, and it was the same situation. It technically, people saw it in 2021, but the mass release was this year, just in June, I believe.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's one of those ones. I count this as a 2022 movie. But yeah,
I've been so excited for this. I've been waiting so long to watch this movie.
Yep.
And the way it worked out with my work schedule and my wife's schedule, we didn't get to see it in theaters. So I was super happy how quick it came out to rent.
Yeah, very, very quick.
A couple of weeks later, or a month.
Yeah.
And I was just like, oh, thankfully, like I can actually see this before it's spoiled for me.
Yeah, that's right.
Which I will mention, it's going to be spoiled.
That's right. So if you haven't seen it, go watch it now.
Yeah, I'll let you do the rundown.
Okay, so we'll do the plot first. So after being abducted by a child killer and locked in a soundproof basement, a 13-year-old boy starts receiving calls on a disconnected phone from the killer's previous victims. Stars Ethan Hawke as the Grabber, Mason Thames as Finney, Madeline McGraw as Gwen, Jeremy Davies as Terrence, and E. Roger Mitchell as Detective Wright. Directed by Scott Derrickson. Not Dickerson. Derrickson.
I bet he got called Dickerson as a kid in school, though.
Runtime is an hour and 40-ish minutes, hour 43.
Yeah.
First time watch for both of us, as you mentioned there. First thing in the baseball, this movie takes place in the 70s, and immediately the very first thing I said to my wife was Dazed and Confused. Get that feeling, right?
Oh, yeah.
And I even started, no joke, going, and then what song plays? Free Ride starts playing. I was like, holy shit.
That's how you know it's in the 70s.
Exactly.
So you gotta play that song.
It was just hilarious how, I wonder if that was in their mind, because that song does play. I think it might not be the same scene, but it plays in Dazed and Confused. And the baseball thing, it just had that whole feel.
Yeah. Right after that, the opening with the baseball game.
Yep.
The that music that they play during like the credits kind of thing is super creepy too.
Yeah, it's good.
It goes from like Free Ride to this like spooky.
And this is the same people that did Sinister.
And it feels like it.
Yeah, you had mentioned, I think it is Sinister, right? The music from that it's one of your favorites, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I see why you liked it.
Yeah.
Yeah, good setting overall, though. The 70s, it looked really good.
Yeah.
I've always said that Dazed and Confused coming out in the 90s, they did a fantastic job making it look like 1976 or whatever it is. And this coming out in being shot in 2020 or 21, whatever it was, did a fantastic job making it look like 1978 or whenever it was.
They really did.
Yeah.
And it's funny, like, as a kid, I guess it was a little bit later in years, not the 70s, but the 80s, early 90s, like, child abduction was something it seemed like I heard about all the time.
Right.
So, as a kid, I was super scared of being abducted.
Yeah.
Because I was a really cute kid.
Adorable.
Like, I would have looked great on a milk carton. But this is, like, one of my biggest fears as a kid.
Yeah.
I even used to walk around, like, for some reason, my parents would let me go, like, in a big box store like Walmart.
Yeah.
Like, oh, yeah, like, go look at the toys.
Yeah, of course.
Maybe I was annoying and they wanted me to get abducted.
Could be.
But I'd be, like, walking around looking at the toys, constantly in fear of being abducted.
Yeah.
I even held my hands in a karate chop pose.
Oh, shit, ready to
just
go.
in case.
Attaboy.
Like, all the time.
You're like was his name Robin? The kid who fucking... Yeah. He's a killer in this movie.
He's the killer, but he's such a weenie at the same time. It's great.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that what you mentioned about the 80s or whatever you said there made me think about this being in the 70s. I'm so happy it was in the 70s because so much stuff lately in the last 10 years or so has been such 80s.
Yeah.
And it's almost to that point like enough with the 80s.
Yeah.
And this one kind of bumped it back 10 years or whatever into the 70s, so I was happy with that.
Me
Not
too.
Another 80s retro Nintendo, all that bullshit.
Yeah.
Getting tired of it. So
I was listening to a podcast and Kevin Smith was saying that he was telling someone like, oh, I'm making a new movie, it's set in the 80s, and they're like, oh, like Stranger Things, and he was like, that's in the 80s? And they're like, yeah, there's even an episode where they dress as the Ghostbusters.
Right.
He's like, what the fuck? He's like, I gotta get watching this show. Like, he had no idea.
Oh, that's hilarious.
He's never seen it.
Yeah.
And he thought he was being, like, super original.
Yeah, that's right. Oh, yeah. The characters in this movie, though, I mentioned the one, Robin. It is Robin, right?
Yeah.
He's a fighter. We see him beating the shit out of this huge kid. I think his name Moose.
I think his name was Moose.
Kids all looked good. We mentioned the making it look like the 70s. The hair, the clothing.
The line "the kids all looked good" is just put you on a list. Taken out of context when you run for prime minister.
That's right. I did like the main characters. So I liked Finn. I liked his sister Gwen.
Yeah.
I liked bandana Robin.
Me too. Robin, he has a great line where he's, after beating the shit out of Moose, he's in the bathroom.
Yeah.
And he's like, that guy had some sharp teeth.
Yeah.
His knuckles are all covered in blood.
Oh, it was great.
Yeah. When he's like talking to Finn and he's like, you got to stick up for yourself sometime. I was like, okay, there's the foreshadowing of what's going to happen later on.
Exactly. Gwen, we find out fairly early on she gets interviewed by the police and she has some sort of dream ability where she can see things. That whole interview with her is really funny because they're pushing her hard, like, and she ends up calling them fart knockers.
I had that too,
which I heard that. I used to say that was but I hadn't heard it in so long. It just made me laugh.
It's such a great insult.
So good. Fart knockers.
Yeah, I'll have to tell that to my kids.
Yeah,
they'll love that.
Yeah, she's dropping F-bombs too.
Yeah,
and that's the other thing. I love the fact that this movie's rated R.
Yeah,
you get the swearing, you get some more gore, which we'll talk about in a little while here.
Yeah,
but such better experience for it just makes it's more realistic. It's, I don't know. I like it.
When Robin was telling Finn that he has to come over and watch Texas Chainsaw Massacre, but then just a few minutes later, Finn's watching some terrible-looking horror movie with a bathtub full of blood, and he's like losing it.
He was terrified.
Yeah, he's not ready for Texas Chainsaw
Definitely
Massacre.
Not. It's a bathtub filling with blood, and when he put his hand over his mouth, like he was about to scream, cry. Yeah, hilarious. He looks at by the way, his Father of the Year award. This guy is the biggest piece of shit.
Oh, so terrible.
I mean, he's awful. Like, at the very beginning, we see him chewing or slurping. He's slurping his cereal. Yeah. Slurp a little bit louder. And then the daughter comes in and she drops the bread basket lid a little too loud. And he just closes his eyes and she's like, sorry. Yeah. It's like, what a psycho. And then we see him beat the holy shit out of her.
That's the worst part of the movie for me.
And acting on that young lady.
Incredible.
Fantastic.
Yeah. She's really good.
Yeah, it sucks. Was great
that she probably won't even get any recognition because it's a horror movie.
Yeah, that's right.
But
she did really good.
Yeah,
that was about as believable of a beating that I've seen in a long time.
And it's all because she's having these dreams and talking about them.
Yeah, and he's very. They're just dreams.
Yeah,
my dreams are just dreams.
Yeah,
fucking creep.
Yes. Those dream sequences also remind me a lot of Sinister.
Yeah.
The way they're shot.
Yeah, they have
a lot like those movies,
That's
like
right.
the home movies that were shot in Sinister.
Yeah.
They have the same feel.
Same kind of look to them.
Yeah.
I have I don't know what the word is, a complaint, I guess, about the movie, and that is the fact that children are being abducted, but there's nobody saying to not walk alone. Hey guys, there's child abductor happening. It's kind of a plot hole in a way. Like normally after one or two, they're like kids travel in groups, don't go alone anywhere, and we still see even after Robin gets abducted.
Yeah,
because we see two abductions. We see Bruce, the baseball kid, at the beginning.
Yeah,
it cuts to black as the van pulls up.
Yeah, and
then we see Robin walking through that parking lot. He gets taken.
Yeah.
So, and then we know that there's been other children. Kind of a plot hole in a way that you think that they could have just mentioned it in the movie. Kids didn't necessarily have to follow it. Maybe him and his sister would have been walking together, and she branched off and went to her friends like she does every Friday.
Yep.
And he would have been like, fuck, I forgot. Now I have to walk home alone.
Right.
And the abduction happens.
Yeah.
The abduction scene is about all I saw from this movie trailer. That's all I watched.
Yeah.
I think it was a teaser or something.
Yeah.
But I didn't need to see any more. I was intrigued by that.
We haven't even mentioned Ethan Hawke yet.
Yeah.
As the grabber.
That's right.
Holy shit.
Creep.
Oh, man, he was so good at being creepy. Enough that I forgot it was Ethan Hawke.
Yeah.
Like,
my wife didn't even know until even at the end. She was like, Ethan Hawke. And I was like, yeah. Did you not see the eyes? And I know a lot more than her. I pay attention to that sort of stuff. Yeah. But yeah, very
that scene where he's like, his balloons and stuff. He's like, oh, I'm so silly. Like, I dropped my stuff. And he's like, I'm a magician. That was so creepy.
I wanted, during that scene, he drops all his groceries because the kid goes, do you need some help with that? I just wanted to hear, would you? Because it's a black van.
Yeah.
And he's fumbling around. I just wanted the Buffalo Bill line. But no, it was good. The black balloons. It's a good, he pulls them out, kind of surrounds the kid.
Yeah.
Grabs him, sprays something in his face, and then throws him in.
Yeah.
It seems like it would work.
Yeah.
I'm not going to try it.
No,
but,
thankfully.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's, that was very creepy.
Yeah.
Like, just the way he does it so slick.
So slick, yeah.
And he comes
broad
off
daylight.
such an idiot.
Yeah.
And then just turns evil.
The basement room where he keeps them, sinister feel to that, too, with the poster specifically of Sinister, but that red line. Did you notice that in the basement? It's like there's a line halfway up the wall, goes all the way around. It just looked like the Sinister poster.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's down there. He's got a mattress and a toilet, and that's pretty well it. In a couple, like in a
rolls of carpet.
Yeah, rolls of carpet. Yeah, and the phone.
Yeah.
So,
which made me wonder too. They show a scene of him running and jumping and trying to grab onto the windowsill. Well, I was wondering why he didn't just stack up the carpet and run and jump.
My wife said the same thing.
But then they do say something like, oh, have you tried the carpet or something like that? And he's like, I've tried everything. So they do kind of fill it in, but at the same time, like, I feel like he could have made it.
Yeah, he was close. And the other thing, I think, as days go on, you get weaker and weaker too, right?
True.
So if you're not going to be able to do something right away, and that's the other thing, the grabber tells him, like, I'm not going to hurt you, but this is the sixth kid. He's the fifth or sixth or whatever. All of them are presumed dead, not found. You got to imagine that if you're not going to be killed, it's not going to be a good outcome.
No.
So, yeah. Down there, though, at this point of the movie, I said to my wife, because there is a toilet there, I said, take the phone cord out from the phone itself, kind of tie it around your wrist, and leave the other end dangling, and just take the toilet tank and stand behind the door. And when he walks in with your food, you just fucking club him, throw that cord around, and tie it as tight as you can, and then just start beating him. But he doesn't do that yet.
Yeah.
There is some things, but that's what I would have done.
Yeah.
Mind you, I'm 30. I'm not a 13-year-old boy. Yeah. It's tough for me to remember what you have in your mind. I was 13. I could do this, but then if you could go back and see yourself at 13, you'd be like, you fucking puny little shit.
Yeah.
I could beat this shit out of you with one hand. I'd behind my back. But you think back to yourself at 13, you think you could beat up anybody.
Yeah.
So
I was probably the size of this kid when I was 13 too, so I probably wouldn't have stood much of a chance.
That's right. Yeah, that's what I. Yeah, he also has a rocket toy, which he scratched the grabber's arm with.
Yeah,
really got him good. But yeah, that's basically all he has.
It's weird that he lets him keep it.
Yeah, did he know that he had it though? I know he knows he scratched him with it, but I don't know if he even knew. It's like a flashlight too. It was weird. Yeah, but the phone starts ringing. He answers it, and it's different kids. They don't even know who they are, which is a different idea, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because they're dead, and they're like, oh, like your memory is one of the first things to
That's right. And they start, the voices on there. Each one that he talks to is giving him basically what they did.
Yeah.
So he's kind of, dig a hole at this tile in the floor, and you can tunnel your way out. We see him digging, whatever.
Yeah.
And then the next one is something, I think it was about the cord that he hid in the wall. You can use it to get the grate. And he gets that, but nothing goes from there. No. And then there's the cave in the wall here. You can climb through the freezer, and he gets to the freezer, and it's one of those ones that you can't open from the inside. Yeah. So all these things are just leading to dead end after dead end after dead end. The one kid,
because they clearly didn't work for those guys.
Exactly. So. The one has the lock, which he uses. Now that scene, that's one of my favorite scenes. Oh, wait, I have one other note before that. When the phone rings, this is the jump scare that got me. Did anything get you? The
I don't think so.
He's on the phone, and he's turning from, like, left to right or whatever, and it pans to the phone, and then it pans back.
Mm-hmm.
The same thing happened in It Chapter 2. I expected to see the grabber standing there,
yeah, but
instead we see a dead kid,
yeah,
talking to, like, right beside him. And in It Chapter 2, there's a scene where there are balloons underneath a hospital bed.
Oh, yes.
And I expected it to pop and see Pennywise, and it pops and you see a dead zombie-looking guy.
Yeah.
But that made me fucking jump, because I'm expecting one thing and they go a different way.
Right.
Yeah.
I guess the freezer part did lead to him having the meat to keep the dog.
Well, all of them, in the end, led to
something.
Yeah, they all worked in their own way.
Yeah. It kind of reminds me of, there's like a trend in video games right now where you're like, you start out, you're weak, you start playing through the game, you get power-ups. As soon as you die, you start back at the start.
Right.
But you have all your power-ups.
Right.
And you get to go a little bit further each time.
Uh-huh.
It kind of reminded me of that in the same way. Like, he's like hearing all these different steps. Like, okay, you can do this, you can do this, you can do this.
Yeah.
Like, don't play the game with the grabber. He's testing you.
Yeah, that's a scene that I have here when he gets a call about don't go upstairs. The door. He's keeping the door open on purpose.
Yeah.
And he says, "Don't go up there. He'll beat you."
He wants to play naughty boy.
Yeah. That scene when they pan up the stairs and Ethan Hawke is sitting there. Did you get Bane feeling? He had a mask on with no shirt, and he's very, very...
He's jacked in this movie.
Yeah, and all I saw was fucking Tom Hardy as Bane with his no shirt on.
Yeah.
Very puffy, muscular.
Yeah.
And the mask.
When he was sitting there, a stupid thought that ran through my head, but I was like, did Ethan Hawke shave his chest just for this movie?
I was wondering
because he's completely hairless.
Yes. That's funny.
Hey, I gotta know.
Yeah.
Ethan Hawke, let me know.
And we hear the phone call and he's asleep or whatever. He's passed out. So then he goes up. That whole scene when he escapes the first time because he's got the combination 22, 17, 33 or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's like, is it 2, 23? And the kid's like, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Like, oh. So he ends up getting out, and it's such a good scene because you can see the grabber in the background sleeping in a chair.
Yeah.
And then it blurs him, and it goes to the kid, and then it focuses on him, and he's still sitting there.
And you're just waiting for him to wake up.
Exactly.
It's so tense.
They could have it pan to blur, and then have it focus in, and he's staring right at him or something. They didn't do that, but it still worked.
Yeah. And then when he got out, I was like, you're kind of cheering for the kid. You're like, come on, like run through.
Kind of.
Well, like, yeah, I guess. You're like, run through someone's yard or something. Like, get off the road because he's in the van chasing you.
Yeah.
And then he tackles him.
Yeah.
And you see like the porch lights come on. You're like, okay, like someone's gonna help him.
Yeah.
And then he has the knife and he's like, make a noise and I'll kill you kind of thing.
Fuck.
And then you just see the porch lights go back out. And it's like, no, like you're so close.
Punches him, drops him back in the basement.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sucks.
Yeah.
Now, I've mentioned with movies in the past about how when people are abducted, I want their killings to be brutal and violent. This one did better than other ones that we've talked about in the past, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I still would have liked to have been a bit more, but I did enjoy it because, as we mentioned, all the things that he did end up hurting the grabber in one way or another.
Yeah. So he's sort of, in a way, getting revenge for all the dead kids.
Exactly.
Because they're helping get him killed.
Like, he trips him with the wire, falls into the hole, and it looks like he breaks his leg on that grate. And then he hits him with the phone, he chokes him with the wire, and great scene of Ethan Hawke trying to get the wire off of his throat.
I know. Even in that scene, I was like, oh, he's going to get out of this.
Yeah.
Like, he's going to grab him.
It felt like it wasn't quite over.
Yeah.
That's where I would have added in one. Like, there's a piece of, like, sheet metal from the back of the freezer.
Yeah.
Take that and fucking slam his head, cut his brain out. By the way, I forgot to mention his dog. Most terrifying dog in movie history.
Yeah.
That's like 140-pound pit bull looking thing.
Yeah.
Its eyes were super creepy. And then, like you mentioned, the meat from the freezer, which he throws in the corner, and the dumb dog goes to eat the steak, and he just walks up the stairs.
Yeah. I love the, like, whenever the guy says, Bruce, the first kid, when they're playing ball against each other, like, Finn is pitching.
Yeah.
And he says to him, like, your arm is mint.
Yeah.
And then I was like, and then he says it again on the phone call. And I'm like, where does this come into play? Like, what's going to happen with your arm is mint?
Yeah.
And then you see him practicing
his step back
punch with the phone.
That's right.
Which was cool that they're like, pack it full of dirt, like, to make it heavier. I was like, oh, that's smart. And he's doing it. I'm like, like, there's where it came in.
That arm is mint.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He just beats the shit out of him with that phone.
Yeah. And back to the daughter or the house in her dream, and she does find it, we think.
Oh, that's such a good...
Yeah, and the police, they go there, and it looks like the house that we've seen, and they go to the basement. It's not the house, but there are graves there.
Yeah, but they do a cool fake out before that. Where they come to a house, and there's just some other guy there.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, like, I've been following this case. And you think he's just a nut job. He has, like, a map and, like, where the grabber is taking people.
Clippings and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're like, shit. And there's Coke on the table, not Coca-Cola.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, maybe you should clean up before you have guests over or something next time.
Before your brother comes home.
Yeah. And then it does the pan down into the basement.
Yeah.
And he's in there.
Yeah.
It was just such a sickening, like, oh, there's no hope for this kid.
Yeah. We didn't even mention the grabber's brother.
Yeah. Great character.
Yeah, hilarious. Because even when he finds him and he's like, don't worry, he's not home.
Oh.
And this is where I'm talking about some gore factor, is he, like, pushes the door open, we see the grabber's coming down the stairs and gives him a fucking whack with that axe.
Yeah.
Right on top of his head, and it splits it. You see some good shit.
Yeah.
And he face plants onto the cement floor, blood pouring out. He's like, you made me kill my brother.
Yeah.
It's like, Jesus, man. Yeah. That's all I have other than my wrap up.
The mask.
Yeah, masks. Mask plural. There was 3?
At least, yeah.
Maybe even 4.
Yeah. I love how they can alternate the bottoms and stuff, like, to change what it looks like.
And I was thinking when one of the first masks had no mouth.
Yeah.
I was thinking maybe he's like a split personality thing, because he even says, like, I'm not going to hurt you.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, okay, maybe he's going to come down with a different mask on, and this will be the one who fucking beats him or whatever. They didn't really do that, which is fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, the masks all of them were cool.
Yeah, great design.
Yeah.
And it was created, like, by Jason Baker and Tom Savini.
Right.
First time ever Tom Savini has a co-creator credit with anybody.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Jason Baker seems to be Tom's, I don't know if protege is the right word, but anything I see online, they seem to be pretty close. And hopefully, I'm excited to see more stuff from him, because it's super cool.
Yeah.
And there's not enough practical effects stuff anymore.
Uh-huh.
So, hopefully something cool comes of it.
I agree.
Yeah, the masks were great.
Yeah.
I loved that. I think that's pretty much all I have, too.
Okay.
Yeah.
The only other, the wrap-up I have, I didn't love the movie.
Okay.
I liked it more than Sinister, though. Sinister, to me, falls apart in the last 30 minutes or so. There's a whole scene of Ethan Hawke walking through that house in slow motion. There's kids running around.
Oh, yeah.
By that point, I'm kind of like, ugh. This one, I liked this movie from start to finish. Didn't love it, but I liked it.
Yeah.
Didn't really have that fall apart aspect for me, anyway. And the other thing that I'll say is I don't like reviewing a movie on a first time watch. A lot of times I need to watch things again.
Yeah.
So having this be the first time, I don't know what I'll say next time.
Yeah.
'Cause I will watch it again, but I just don't know when and if I'll like it as much, or I'll like it more. But yeah, that's all I have before I give my rating.
Yeah.
Only one kill on screen.
Yeah.
The brother.
Yep.
Great kill, though.
Yeah.
The other 5 we don't see.
Well, Grabber, too. Right?
Yes, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I never even counted him. But yes, that is true.
Yeah.
I prefer the brother with the axe than myself. It was great.
It was.
But both were good.
Yeah.
Anything make you didn't have any jump?
No jump.
Yeah, the only one, there's one that I mentioned. It got me a little bit. Your spooky thing?
Yeah. I think it varies, actually.
Okay.
Spooky, scary, or terrifying. I think if you don't have kids,
yeah, I agree
it's
with
spooky.
that.
But if you have kids, it could be right up there to terrifying. Like, just how quick and easy the abductions happen. You're
Makes
like,
sense.
ugh.
Yeah, I agree with that. I would say the same thing.
Yeah.
On to ratings?
Ratings.
Want me to go first?
Sure.
Give it a 7 out of 10.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
I don't know, like I say, second watch, maybe up to an 8.
Yeah.
I don't think it'll go lower than a 7. I can't imagine that, but I'll stick with 7 for now.
Nice. 8.5 for me.
Okay.
Really liked it. Thought it was really good.
Yeah.
For the length, I found it flew by pretty quick.
It did. It went by good.
It gets off to a quick start right away.
Yeah.
Really enjoyed it. Yeah.
Good.
So yeah, that'll do it for this episode. Let us know what you thought of the Black Phone. We'll be back next week with a new episode. Bye.